When we talk about artificial intelligence, there's this huge critical question we absolutely have to ask. How do we make sure its incredible power helps out everyone on the planet and not just a select few? Well, today, we're diving into Microsoft Research's Project Gecko, a really cool initiative that's designed to close a massive and growing gap in the world of AI.
Just think about this for a second. What if AI, this technology that's changing literally everything, what if it just flat out didn't understand or work for half the people on the planet? What would that actually mean for progress, for fairness, for all of our futures?
Here's the thing. That's not some far-off hypothetical. For the majority of people on Earth right now, the current generation of AI systems, they just weren't built for them. And that's a reality with some massive, massive implications.
So, before we can even think about a solution, we've got to really understand the problem. Researchers have a name for it, the AI equity gap.
So where does this gap come from? Well, it all starts with the data. Most of the generative AI out there is trained on information scraped from the internet, which is overwhelmingly Western and English-based. That means these incredibly powerful tools, well, they really struggle with other languages. And even more, they fail to grasp crucial social and cultural contexts. This isn't just some technical glitch, you know. The knock-on effect is that entire regions have lower AI adoption, even when you account for economic factors.
Okay, so you've got this huge divide. What do? Well, faced with this challenge, a team of researchers came up with a really ambitious plan, and they called it Project Gecko.
The mission of Project Gecko isn't just to, translate the AI we already have. No, it's about building totally new systems right from the ground up. We're talking about systems that are affordable, that are adaptable, and that truly speak the language of their users, and I mean that both literally and culturally, using text, voice, and video.
Now, to prove their approach could actually work, the team didn't just stay in a lab. Nope, they went straight out into the field. And they decided to focus on agriculture, which they saw as a strategic multiplier. Basically, an area where a little bit of help can create these huge ripple effects, improving everything from health and climate to education.
And when you look at the numbers, you really see why this matters so much. I mean, this isn't just a job for millions of people. It's the absolute backbone of entire economies and communities in places like Africa, Kenya, and India. It supports hundreds of millions of people.
But here's the problem. The very people at the heart of these economies, smallholder farmers, they need reliable, trusted advice on everything from pests to weather patterns. And the AI tools we have now, they're basically a non-starter. They just don't get the specific terms for crops or pests that can change from one village to the next, let alone entire languages like Kikuyu or Hindi.
Okay, so this is where things get really, really clever. Microsoft teamed up with an organization called Digital Green. For almost 2 decades, they've been creating this massive library of how-to videos for farmers made by other farmers. It was this incredible goldmine of trusted, local, culturally relevant knowledge, but it was all locked away inside more than 10,000 videos. The big challenge was, how do you unlock all that wisdom?
So how on earth did they build an AI that could actually understand and search this unique video library? Let's take a look at the innovative technology that makes it all possible.
The secret sauce here is something called multimodal AI. Now, your typical chatbot just gets text, right? Well, a multimodal system is completely different. It's like it has eyes and ears. It can process everything all at once. The words being spoken, the images on the screen, the text transcript. It gets the whole picture just like a person would. This technology is the brain of the operation, called the MMCTAgent. Here's how it works. A farmer asks a question, they can type it or just say it. The agent then dives into all that video, audio, and text data, and it forms a plan to find the best answer. It even has this built-in critic to double-check its own reasoning to make sure it's accurate before delivering a super precise answer.
And the engine powering all this is another huge innovation. You've probably heard of large language models, or LLMs, right? They're like these massive do-everything factories, super powerful, but also super expensive and energy-hungry. Well, the team here used a small language model, or SLM. A much better analogy is a small, specialized workshop. SLMs are way cheaper to run. You can fine-tune them to become experts in a specific thing, like Kenyan agriculture, and they can even outperform the big models on those specific tasks.
Okay, the tech is really cool, for sure. But the real question is, does this stuff actually help people? Theory is one thing, but what happened when this was put in the hands of farmers?
Wow, this quote from Lakshmi Devi, a farmer in India, it just says it all, doesn't it? It all comes down to trust. Before, the advice they got was uncertain. Now, with this tool, they have access to verified, expert knowledge from their own communities, and they're seeing real, tangible results in their crops.
And that trust, it wasn't an accident. It was earned, because this tool wasn't just built in a lab somewhere and dropped on them. Nope. Over 130 farmers in both Kenya and India were directly involved in testing it, shaping it, and making sure it was genuinely useful for their real-world needs.
And the results from those field studies were just fantastic. They saw better quality answers, the tool was easier to use, and that trust level shot way up. And here's the kicker. For the specific local questions these farmers were asking, this tailored system actually did better than the bigger, more generic AI models.
And check this out. This feature might seem small, but it is an absolute game changer. The AI doesn't just say, hey, here's a 30-minute video that might help. No way. It finds the exact 2-minute segment that answers the farmer's question and takes them right to that spot. It respects their time and gives them actionable advice instantly.
What's so exciting is that this project is about so much more than farming. It's really a blueprint for a much more inclusive future for AI as a whole.
But there's a huge hurdle to clear if we're going to scale this vision up. Look at this. The physical infrastructure of AI, the data centers, a staggering 86% of it is concentrated in just the US and China. That raises a really critical question. How do you deploy powerful AI for billions of people who might not even have reliable electricity, let alone high-speed internet?
And that really brings us to the ultimate goal, which is just summed up perfectly by Tanuja Ganu, one of the project's leaders. The next wave of AI can't just be powerful. It has to be inclusive, it has to be relevant, and, this is the most important part, it has to be shaped by the very communities it's designed to help.
So we end up kind of back where we started, but with a totally new perspective. Project Gecko shows us that AI for everyone isn't just a dream, it's actually possible. The question now for all of us is, once we achieve it, from farming to healthcare to education, how will this truly inclusive AI reshape our world?